Those were the headlines that we're tracking for you this evening. But on what's brewing today, Kapiva, the modern Ayurveda brand, has just secured over $60 million in funding with fresh backing from 360 ONE Asset and Vertex Growth. The company says the new capital will supercharge its R&D manufacturing and health tech push while expanding its presence in India and overseas. With an ARR of over 550 crore rupees and 80% year-on-year growth, Kapiva is betting big on making scientific Ayurveda a global wellness choice. Joining me now to discuss this further is Ameev Sharma, the founder of Kapiva. Ameev, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. First of all, congratulations on raising the $60 million. But what does this round mean for Kapiva and how will it shape your growth strategy going forward?
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. So the round, just to be clear, had two large sort of aspects of it. Majority of the round was actually a secondary, where we actually exited some of our early investors and angels. This itself was a very good milestone for the organization because going through a complete investor cycle where we got in early investors, gave them an exit is a large milestone for an organization and puts it on its way to be sort of later stage company. The primary is raised mostly for R&D, right? The vision really for the organization is that how do we, combine the authentic, traditional, high-quality Ayurveda with newer scientific methods and standardization, right? So bringing in things like clinical validation, bringing in things like, really standardizing it on a molecular level to be able to deliver measurable benefit to the customer, right? To our customers. And part of it is also, combining it with things like health tech and AI, where not only do we give the best quality and clinically validated product, we also give consultation and we actually help the customer through a holistic path in order to get them to the health outcome, right?
Absolutely.
So categories like diabetes, right, where it's the product itself, but also a lifestyle plays, right? This is a combined approach and a modern approach to really take Ayurveda into the mainstream.
So combined approach to take Ayurveda into the mainstream. Now, you just spoke about strengthening research and development, right? So if you could sort of tell us, what are the new categories or innovations consumers can expect from Kapiva in the near future?
No, absolutely. So, one very different approach that we've taken is that we've tied up with large scale, sort of well-known allopathic chains, right? Be it some of the largest hospital chains in India, to, specialized hospital chains like AIIMS, to government bodies like CSIR. We have multiple partnerships with the mainstream healthcare fraternity to actually rigorously test our product from a modern pharmaceutical point of view, right? There's no reason why Ayurvedic products, once manufactured in a correct way, cannot deliver measurable efficacy, maybe not as quickly as allopathy, but over a period of time as effective as allopathy, right? So a lot of that R&D goes around, building patents and building IP in categories like cholesterol, categories like diabetes, categories like sports, right? Sports nutrition, where we're able to deliver measurable benefits through customers through modern scientific validation.
Right. So speaking of these IPs and all of that, which of your products then, the product lines that are currently driving the most traction for you and where are you seeing, sort of the strongest consumer demand?
Absolutely. So two of the areas, funnily enough, which are doing the best for us are also the areas where we've put in the most R&D dollars, right? So, typically we have multiple phases of R&D. So we actually start with on a cellular level, doing in vitro and in vivo. Then we move on to animal, then single leg human, and then eventually double blind placebo RCT human. While these are very complicated terms, roughly what we're saying is that we follow the same level of rigor that for allopathic medicine is followed for allopathic medicine to register as a medicine, right? So we've done that currently for a diabetes supplement as well as for a sports supplement, right? Which is like a herbal creatine to simplify the meaning, right? So these are two products that also deliver maybe 60% of our revenue, and both the products are getting close to 200 crores each. Beyond that, we also see green shoots in areas like heart health and liver health.
Sure. So you've pointed that out for us. And, speaking of numbers, you've achieved an ARR of 550 crore rupees with 80% year-on-year growth for the last 3 years, right? So what are your revenue targets for the next 2 years and how do you plan to sustain this momentum?
So honestly, our targets, we're not trying to slow down anytime soon, right? So, we were lucky enough to kind of get close to the 200 crore mark, for example, in a diabetes medication, right? And that puts us as potentially the largest diabetes supplement in India today. Having said that, our penetration amongst the diabetes population is only about 0.1 to 0.2%, right? So I think this is a category which is significantly under-penetrated in India, right? People talk about Ayurveda and how everybody takes Ayurveda in India. But the reality is that only 0.5% of healthcare in India is Ayurvedic healthcare, right? If I looked at that same number in China, it's 15%. So TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, is 15% of healthcare in China, right? So it's still very early days for scientific Ayurveda to actually, or modern Ayurveda to actually become mainstream, right, in India. So while, we are seeing good growth, I think it's still very early days. And, my vision is to see this as a multi-billion-dollar global healthcare brand, right? So I think still long way to go.
Long way to go. You want to see it as a multi-billion-dollar global chain. But,
Absolutely.
if you could quickly then tell us, what are the global markets that you are currently eyeing? You are in a couple of them. So which ones are you looking to grow further in? And take us through the omni-channel strategy. You're present across 40,000 stores. So like offline doing well for you?
Sure. So starting with the global, so we have subsidiaries in Dubai and in the US, right? So Middle East has been a really successful market for us. US is doing well, Europe as well. So UK and now Germany are starting to pick up quite well. So we are definitely seeing this as a global foray, right? So while global is still only 10% of our business, because we started just a year ago, that's the fastest growing part of our business and is doing extremely well. Within India and actually globally as well, we have a very omni-channel approach, right? So our objective is that customer doesn't live on one channel, right? Customers buy online, customers buy on marketplaces, customers buy on multiple platforms. So we are available at 40,000. Actually, that number will be closer to 50,000 now. 50,000 stores online, plan to get to 1 lakh by March of this financial year. At the same time, almost 35% of our business happens on our own app and our own website, where we also deliver everything from doctor consultations to diet plans to a complete holistic solution for customers looking for health outcomes. We are also today the largest supplement player on platforms like Amazon and Flipkart, right?
Sure.
So across multiple platforms is where we are, we're focusing for leadership, and that's the way customers behave today, right?
Absolutely.
Customers don't think about platforms; they think about convenience.
Right. It is about convenience for the consumer. All right, Amev, thank you so much for joining us on this show and wish you all the best on this journey going forward.
Thank you for having me.
And moving on the hot.
Hey, thank you for watching this on CNBC TV 18. Hope you liked it. For more such interesting news and updates, follow CNBC TV 18 on all the social media platforms.